Hey everybody, got another video for you today, and it's about Ripple. It's actually very great news. Let's quickly take a look at live coin watch so we can see where Ripple is currently positioned. Ripple holding the number 3 spot, so we've known that Ripple had the number 2 spot, but after this week's fiasco at CoinMarketCap, it's currently in the number 3, and there's been some fluctuations even before that between Ethereum and Ripple for that number 2 spot. Currently trading at $2.23, the global average from all exchanges. And just to give you a snapshot, guys, sometimes it's helpful to really take a look at these charts so that it puts things in realities and gives you a reality check. Because if we look at this chart, I'm just looking at a month. On December 10th, guys, we were at 23 cents. And look at this rally. We went up to near $4, guys, like $3.90. And then we had our price corrections and we had the mini crash from the CoinMarketCap fiasco. But look at where we're at, guys. We're still higher than we were last year when we were stuck at 20-something cents. Many of you weren't even in the market then. Those of you who were, you know, there was no movement, guys, even after the Swell conference and so forth. So I'm not worried about Ripple. I'm holding long term. And the news I'm going to talk about today is as these news start to come out with different banks and partnerships and so forth with credit card companies and money transfer companies, the price of XRP will incrementally grow, a steady growth. Obviously, you're going to have these type of massive bull runs, but this massive bull run was also due to the whole Bitcoin going mainstream, right? Everybody and their grandmother and their dog was trying to buy crypto because after the Thanksgiving talks, oh my God, you got to buy Bitcoin and all of that. So we know what happened there. But still, Ripple still holding above $2, up a bit since from its kind of low point of near below $2. Obviously, different exchanges are going to have different prices. So it's sometimes good to really take a look at this and see where we've been and now where we're at to kind of give you guys perspective. So it was announced today and reported today by Banking and Finance, or the Business Times, .com, the Singapore version. So businesstimes.com.sg, that Ripple is starting to make moves in Singapore, guys. We know about the Japan and South Korea testing that's happening between the banks in those two countries. Well, now Ripple is trying to build partnerships in Singapore. So they are slowly putting their tentacles in these different South Asian countries and building relationships. And we know many of them are fans of Ripple and XRP and so forth, such as SBI Holdings. So it would be great if they can get Singapore on board, and maybe they'll go to Hong Kong next, right? But this is obviously great news for the growth of Ripple, the adoption, and obviously for the price of XRP. So Ripple technology currently testing in Japan and South Korean banks, right? Well, the Singapore banks could join the testing soon, and this would allow them to speed up transactions from days to hours and cut costs dramatically. Here's some quotes from the article. Ripple, which sees Southeast Asia as a priority market with pressing remittance demands, is among the firms that have held early talks with the Monetary Authority of Singapore for its technology to be part of the Monetary Authority of Singapore blockchain experiment in cross-border payments, said the CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, in an interview with the Business Times. Cross-border, this is Brad, cross-border is where we think we can uniquely help, said Mr. Garlinghouse, referring to the talks with the MAS, while noting no deal has been firmed up, so they're in the process now. Singapore's regulator said last year during the Singapore Fintech Festival that it would experiment on cross-border payments using blockchain technology. But Ripple is also trying to sell its cryptocurrency XRP as a means of settlement when a bank wants to move money into a country but does not have a local currency account held in a local bank there. As explained by Mr. Garlinghouse, Ripple aims to have XRP used as such cross-border payments so that a bank can sell, for example, the greenback into XRP in seconds and convert XRP into another currency, say Sing dollars, quickly. Banks hold capital and collateral against settlement risk, so a reduction in settlement time would translate to huge savings in the trillions. So goes back to, you know, a lot of FUD that's being spread by people saying, you know, the banks are not going to use XRP. They're not going to use it right away, but Ripple's goal is to get them to use it by getting them on board with partnership and using different technologies and showing them if you were to use XRP, it reduces your cost significantly, which equates to more profit. So that's why this is a long-term hold, because as they build partnerships and as banks start adopting their technology, and I've mentioned each Ripple employee, I mean, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, owns XRP. They are incentivized to see the value go up. So I'm holding, and I think that as more partnerships get on board, similar to stocks, guys, and all these different things, it will help drive the price of XRP up. Now, please don't comment on this video saying, when do you think the price is going to go up? Nobody knows, but we know we have certain news that are upcoming. I did a video on this that we can kind of set markers in the timeline and say, okay, on our calendars, okay, we can probably expect some growth here. And also, you know, don't come back next week and say, well, the price didn't go up. Yes, you guys need to pay attention to the news, pay attention to what I'm saying here. I'm not talking about everyone, but there's some folks who really don't pay attention. They're maybe because they're just looking to make a quick buck overnight or something like that. But I really want you guys to think about Ripple as a long-term hold, because the growth of XRP and the value of XRP is dependent upon partnerships, usage by the banks. But the partnerships themselves, because of the names like an American Express, or, you know, like Brad Garlinghouse said, they're working with 3 of the top 5 global money transfer companies. Could be a Western Union, MoneyGram, PayPal, but those companies are not ready for that information to be released. He said that publicly. So when these things come out, guess what? People are going to start investing in XRP, and there's going to be more hype around it, and the price is going to go up. So you got to be patient, guys. You got to be patient. This is not like Bitcoin or Ethereum or these other cryptos. There's lasting potential here, and if you hold for the long term, you will be rewarded. Just look at last year where the price was at 20 cents, and it went like 6 to 7 months without moving even past 30 cents. It was really frustrating for even myself, you know, because when I bought, I'm like, why is there no movement, right? At least go to 32 cents or 35 cents. But at the same time, I had to keep myself in check that, wait a minute, this is different. I understand what Ripple's trying to do, their mission, what they're trying to accomplish. And I held, and now I'm going to hold again because the value went up. Since I held, I could cash out right now and make some money, but I know there's more value here because we're talking about real world problems being solved. We're talking about Ripple working with banks, money transfer companies, credit card companies, real world companies, real world solutions. This is not a white paper. This is not a scientific experiment. This is real business happening here, guys. So this is why Ripple's very different from a lot of these cryptos on the market. A lot of them are just white papers and ideas, and some of them are just even Bitcoin, right? It's not Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't have business partnerships or anything like that. Obviously, because it's very decentralized. It's not a company, but Ripple is very different. So think of it as a company that's has to grow, build partnerships, and really get out there, and then you're going to start to see a value. Think of it as stock almost. So that's just my thoughts, guys. I know I'm ranting a bit here, but I think this is big. If they're able to get some relationships with banks in Singapore, we got Japan, we got Singapore, we got South Korea. I'm going to see what other countries are coming. And obviously they have relationships with banks in different, like in Mexico and different other countries as well. But if they're really able to put a stronghold on that Asian market, Asian countries, and the banks there, it's going to be big, guys. It's going to be big. That's just my thoughts. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you like this video, please thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel for more videos on Ripple and other cryptocurrencies. And by the way, if you want to get the Ripple t-shirt, I will leave a link in the description and in the comment section for you guys to check it out if you want to purchase one. But I'll talk to you guys later.